Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the first public hearing for the 2026 CDBG home application process, formerly known as our annual action plan. The annual action plan is a one-year plan that is part of our 5-year consolidated plan. The consolidated plan was developed last year and basically sets forth priorities. So the priorities under this plan, the high priorities are housing, community development, which includes community facilities, infrastructure, etc., economic development, and administration and planning. This year, we are only estimating right now what we will get in funding. Everything right now is still not announced. So based on what we received last year, we anticipate receiving about $1.5 million in CDBG funds and $266,000 and change in home funds. We also expect to receive about $80,000 in program income through repayments that we receive through various programs. This opens the round. Applications are due Friday, February 20th to our office. They're available online. The link is a little bit hard to see, but you can see it online. Also, we can get it to you, email it to you if you want. My email address is D as in Diana, White, at altoonapa.gov, and I should have introduced myself as Diana White. I'm the Deputy Director of the Community Development Department here at the city. We expect to have a proposed use of funds developed in March and published on April 8th in the newspaper. There's a public comment period, and during that public comment period, we will hold another public hearing on April 29th at 5 p.m. here in the common room. Assuming that the federal government gets its act together and we have a completed budget and funds are announced as they typically are, we will send this to council for consideration at their May 11th meeting and get it to HUD no later than May 15th. The program year is July 1 through June 30th. So, having said that, quickly I'll go over what kind of things can be done with the funds. These funds are intended to primarily benefit low and moderate income persons. So under the CDBG program, this would include things like acquisition of real property for low income end use, relocation and demolition activities to remove slums of light, rehab of residential and non-residential structures, public facilities improvements, neighborhood centers, conversions of school buildings, etc., all benefiting either a low-income area or low-income persons, public services within certain limits, and things like energy conservation, renewable energy resources, and assistance to businesses to carry out economic development activities that result in the creation of low and moderate income jobs. We have a chart in the back of the application packet that has the current low income limits. For our program, the limit is at 80% of the median income. It's extrapolated by HUD, and so for example, for a family of 4, it's 67,050 right now. These are adjusted every year, so that could change during the process. We also use census data for areas, and we have a CDBG low-income or low-income map on our website, the City of Altoona's website, that can be looked at to determine eligibility. And a city website is www.altoonapa.gov. Ineligible activities are any kind of acquisition, construction, or reconstruction of buildings used for the general conduct of government, with a few very special exceptions. Political activities, certain income payments in new housing units constructed by local government. Now I'm going to move on to the home. I'm going to turn this over to Jim.
Hi, my name's Jim Trexler. I'm the Housing Program Manager for the City of Altoona. My email is jtrexler, Trexler, at altoonapa.gov if you would like to contact me via web. Home funds are very tricky. There's a lot of strings attached to them. Currently, we use the home funds for three things right now. Of course, we have admin out of that. We have a rental rehab program, and then we are also obligated to fund our CHODO, which is IDA. Home funds can be used for various activities, including new construction of affordable housing, rehabilitation of affordable housing, reconstruction of affordable housing, and conversion of affordable housing. Site improvements, refinance of debt on a single family to 1 to 4 family owner occupied, acquisition cost, soft cost like architectural, engineering related professional services, informational services, affirmative marketing and fair housing, CHODO costs, as I said earlier, relocation, administration, and planning. There are a few ineligible home activities. For instance, provide project reserve amounts except for new construction or rehabilitation of an initial operating deficit reserve during the period of the project leased up to not to extend 18 months. Provide tenant-based rental assistance for specific purposes of Section 8 programs. Ineligible costs, provide non-federal matching contributions required under other federal programs. Provide assistance for uses authorized by public housing, capital, and operating funds. Repayment low-income, moderate mortgages. Provide assistance to home buyers acquiring housing previously assisted with home funds. And provide funds for acquisition of property owned by particular jurisdictions. Participating jurisdictions, except for property acquired by PJ's home funds acquired, and blah, blah, blah. Can't pay for any delinquent taxes, fees on property assisted with home funds, and cannot pay for cost as not listed eligible under home regulations.
Okay, so if folks watching the hearing have any questions, they can always reach us by calling the department at 814-949-2470, and you'll be directed to the right person to answer questions, because this is complicated and we understand, and we can prevent some maybe mistakes on the application to help you out. I'm sorry?
I was going to say, do you want the applications in triplicate? Like that, we used to always get those in triplicate. I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, so I'll get there in a second.
I'm sorry.
That's a good point, though. I just want to say, I did mention that the primary benefit of CDBG and home is to low and moderate income persons. We can also do up to 30% of we can budget up to 30% of our funds for slum light removal on a spot basis. And there's a category called urgent need. However, that is almost never used in the whole entire country. So I just have to get that out to make sure that everybody is aware. We do have someone here in attendance. We have an application packet. It will give you the guidelines. So we do want you to submit 2 copies. So it's an original and 1 copy of the application, and no later than 4:30 on February 30th, it's a Friday, to the City of February 20th. Did I say the wrong date?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, send it to the City of Altoona Department of Community Development. Our address is 1301 12th Street, Suite 400, Altoona, PA 16601. To my attention, Diana White. If you need technical assistance, please let me know. Let me look here real quick to see if there's anything else I'm missing. I try to make this as clear as possible. Unfortunately, this is not a fillable form. We will be working on that in the future. And in the back of the packet, I have a sample of, if you're proposing a public service activity, we do require getting demographic information from the folks who are benefiting, so I can help discuss that as well. That sometimes causes some confusion or questioning, but it also includes our income limits. So I think that covers the basics. I will open it up now for questions. Do you have questions? Okay, having said that, I also want to say I'm in attendance here is Eric Lachansky, who's the director of the department. So if for some reason you can't reach me, he can also help you if you have questions. Thank you so much for attending tonight's hearing. I wish you luck as you move forward, and I'm looking forward to getting your applications.